Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and hi. My name is Nurani Shahada binti Umar Hisam, and today I will explain about the crimes against humanity. Crimes against humanity. So, as we know, crimes against humanity is one of the crimes that under jurisdiction under the International Criminal Courts. So, the other crimes that along with the crimes against humanity is the crimes of aggressions, war crimes, and genocides. This video will explain further about what is crimes against humanity. So first of all is about the meanings of humanity. So the terms crimes against humanity refer to the specific crimes that were perpetrated in the context of a large scale attack that target people regardless of the nationality of those individuals. These crimes include murder, torture, sexual assault, enslavement, persecution, and forced disappearance, and so on. To continue, crimes against humanity are frequently carried out as an integral element of states' policies by non-state armed organizations or paramilitary forces may also be responsible for their commission. Crimes against humanity, unlike war crime, it can be perpetrated during times of peace as well. Additionally, in contrast to genocide, crimes against humanity does not necessarily have to be committed against a particular national, ethical, racial, or religious group of people. So, move to the next point, which is provision of crimes against humanity. So, based on the Rome Statute of ICC, Article 7, which is tell about the crimes against humanity, which is stated for the purpose of this statute, crimes against humanity means any of the following acts when committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack direct against any civilian population with knowledge of the attack, which is I will explain in the next slide. So the crime that can be acknowledged under attack of crimes against humanity is a murder, extermination, enslavement, deportation of possible transfer of populations. Next is the imprisonment or other deprivation of physical liberty in violation of fundamental rules of international law, torture, rape, sexual slavery, enforcement, prosecution, forced pregnancy, and forced sterilization or any other form of sexual violence of comparable gravity. So the other crimes which are under the crimes against humanity is the persecution against any identifiable a group of or collectivity on political, racial, national, ethnic, cultural, religious, or gender as defined in the paragraph 3, or other grounds that are universally recognized as impermissible under international law, in connection in any act referred to in this paragraph, or any crime within the jurisdiction of the court. So next is the other crime is the enforced disappearance of or person, the crime of apathy, and other is other inhuman act of a similar character intentionally causing great suffering or any serious injury to body or to mental or physical health. So move to the next point, which is the elements of the crime. Okay, according to the Article 7, Paragraph 1 of the Rome Statute, crimes against humanity do not need to be linked to an armed conflict and can also occur in peacetime, similar to the crime of genocide. That same article provide a definition of the crimes that contain the following main elements, which is I will explain in the next slide. So there are three elements of the crimes under crimes against humanity, which is a physical element, which includes the commission of any following acts, which is uh, whether it's murder, extermination, enslavement, deportation, or forcible transfer of population, imprisonment, torture, great form of sexual violence, or prescriptions, enforce disappearance of of person, the crimes of the and other human acts. And the next element is a contextual element, which is when committed a part of a widespread of or systematic attack, direct direct against any civilian population. And the third one is the element of mental, which is with a knowledge of the attack.
Alright, right now I will do the explanation for the meaning of the act. So the first is the term enslavement. So the term enslavement refers to the exercise of any or all of the power attached to the right of ownership over a person. It also refers to the exercise of such authority in the course of trafficking in person, particularly women and children. So next is persecution. Persecution refer to deliberate and serious denial of fundamental rights contrary to international law based on the group or collectivity identity. Next is the deportation or forcible transfer of populations, which is its mean forced displacement of the person concerned by expulsion or other coercive act from the area in which they are lawfully present without grounds permit under international law. The other explanation for the meaning of the act is a forced pregnancy. Forced pregnancy is the lawful confinement of a pregnant woman with the purpose to change the ethnic composition of a community or commit other serious international law breaches. This term will not change national pregnancy laws. Next is torture. Torture means the international infliction of severe pain or suffering, whether physical or mental, upon a person in the custody or under the control of the accused, except that torture shall not include pain or suffering arising only from, inherent in, or incidental to lawful section. And lastly is the forced disappearance. The forced disappearance is when a state or political organization arrests, detain, or kidnap someone with their permission, support, or acquiescence, and then refuse to admit that they were taken away from their freedom or give information about their fate or whereabouts. The goal is to keep them out of reach of the law for a long time.
So let's dive in the next point, which is conceptual element. So it is stated that it is determined that crimes against humanity entail either a methodical form of violence or large scale violence in regard to the number of victims or its expansion across a vast geographic region. So the keywords, which is widespread and systematic. So it does not include act of violence that are random, unintentional, or isolated. And in addition, in order to qualify as an assault under the Rome Statute, crimes against humanity must carry out in support of the policy of state or other organization as stated in the Article 7, Paragraph 2A of a Rome Statute, which is it is not necessary for the plan or strategy to be officially defined or legally accepted. Rather, it can be deducted from the circumstances as a whole. Alright, moving on to the last point, which is the differences between war crimes against humanity and genocide. So, crimes against humanity, it in contrast to genocides, which is it do not need the victimization of a particular population group. Instead, the target of the assault may be any civilian population, whether the group's allegiance or name. And next is it is not essential to establish that there was an overall particular aim in order to be found guilty of committing a crimes against humanity, which is another key difference to make. Uh, it sophisticates for there to be mere desire to perform any of the action mentioned, with the exception of the act of prescription, which needs extra discriminating intent. So the culprit must also act with knowledge of the attack against the civilian population, and that it's or her behavior is part of the such attack. So that's all for me, Nurani Shada Bitu Hisam. Thank you.